Let's go back to our Android manifest here and change things back. So this is going to be main activity, and this is going to be our list activity, like that. So the way things were before. That way, when we run now, we're going to go back to what we had before, which means we should see the entry point. And voila. So we can go ahead and say add. There we go. Milk 13, white 45. Okay. There, item saved. We should go there. So we should see milk 13, white 45, and the date that was added. Very good. So what we want to do next is make sure that when we click this button here, we're able to add items from here. So essentially, we're going to do the same thing that we have from our main menu here, or our main activity. All right. So to do that, we are going to go back to our list activity, because this is where we will have to work to get all that stuff done. In fact, this is where we should be able to get our FAB and set it up. So private floating action bar. I'm going to call this FAB. Very good. And right about here, I'm going to say FAB find by ID, r.id.fab. Okay, there we go. So we have it now. And at the bottom here, doesn't matter where, but I'm going to say fab.set on click listener, new on click listener such, and then we're going to do something. So when we tap on our fab, we want to say create pop dialog, like that. Okay, because this is where we are going to populate our pop-up dialog. In fact, it's a pop here. So the users are able to actually add something to our database, just like we did before. Create method. There we go. They're private there. Okay. Now, in order for us to create our dialog, in fact, all of this code actually should be refactored to one class, because we are going to be copying and pasting, which is not a good thing. But at this point here, that's what we're going to be doing. But the best practices is that to refactor code. That way we avoid copying and paste, or we avoid duplicate code. We get there. So at this point here, I'm going to create our dialog. First of all, you remember we have to have our dialog builder as we did before. So I'm going to say private dialog, which is alert dialog as such dot builder. I'm going to call this builder. I'm going to say private alert dialog as such. I'm going to call this alert dialog. All right, so inside of our create pop here, that's where we're going to say builder is equal to new alert builder as such, and we have to pass this because it needs the context. And then I'm going to say view. So now I'm going to go and get our pop-up that we created before. So it's going to be the same pop-up, right? So let's go to our resources, layout, this pop-up here we've used before, and I'm going to say, let's close this down there, equals to, I'm going to say get layout inflator dot inflate r dot layout dot pop, and I'm going to say null, like that. Okay, so we have our view. I'm going to go a little bit ahead here. I'm going to create the actual builder. So I'm going to say builder dot set view to our view as such, and then I'm going to say dialog. In fact, we call this, I think we call this alert dialog. That is, I'm going to say is equal to our builder dot create. Right, so we create the actual dialog, and of course I'm going to use the alert dialog to show it. Because at this point we don't have anything yet, because we have to attach all of the views inside of our pop. I already have that, as you very well know. Let's go to our main here and do the inevitable, what we shouldn't ever do. So all of this, I'm going to just copy all of this because it's already there. I'm going to copy, go here, paste it all in like that. Now we're going to have some issues here because we haven't created all of these items yet. In fact, I'm going to go back here, go to the top, and add all of those there. Very good. And back to main activity. Again, this is almost like a sin, but do not worry. We are getting it all done for us here. Okay, so we have all baby item. Okay, very good. So we should be good at this point. Very good. So there we go. We have instantiated and we have the save button. There we go. And next, what I'm going to do, fact, do this again. I'm going to just copy this whole piece of code here because it's going to be the same. And I will repeat, secret here, do not do this. This is not good. But at least we want to get things working for us here. That is the main idea. So at the bottom here, I'm going to say save button that's set on click listener. This is inside new on click listener. I'm going to pass all of that there. And we have save item, which we haven't created. Create method. Go to main. We have our save item somewhere. I'm going to just copy all of this because it's already there. This should be alert dialog, because that's what we called it. Very good. All right, so at this point here, we are inside of a list activity. And what I'm trying to do here is I don't want to really go anywhere, so I can just restart this same activity. In this case, I'm going to kill the previous one. So I'm going to say finish like this. Okay, we'll see all of that in action in a second. So again, a lot of copy and pasting here, not a very good habit, but at least we want to get things to work here. And it's nice to have something working and then refactor later if we need to do so. Right, so we have here all the code that we have written before. We just added to our list view here because it's going to do the same thing, right? The idea is to, when they click that floating button, they're going to see a way in which they can actually add things to our database. And once that is added, we're going to wait about a little bit over a second so that we can restart the same activity. This is a little trick. We're saying we want to go from list activity, which is where we are at, to list activity. So this just refreshes the activity, and I want to kill the previous activity that was there because we don't want to end up with a lot of activities behind. We don't want that. So we call just finish. Okay, very good. So at this point, let's make sure that we have all of the things that we need. We have our database handler. Database is good. All right, let's go ahead and save this and give it a full run here and hope that we don't have any issues. Very good. So we can go ahead and say add. Say newest item. Okay, let's go ahead and save. A few seconds later, we go there. Newest item is there. And the moment of truth. Let's see if when we click here, this is going to work. So click and voila. Let's say car, seat, just one. Those are expensive. Green, if they make that color, size is going to be 2, whatever that is. Let's go ahead and save this and see it's going to work. Saved. There we go. Item, car, seat. It's there and everything is working fine. So we got it to work. At this point here, if they want to go back, which we're going to fix it, right? If they want to go back, they will go back to the main activity, which is not what we need because we don't want them to come here because it's just, there's nothing there, right? In fact, the idea what we want to be doing is to check if the database, when they open the app, that is, indeed, the database has something inside. We're going to just altogether take them to the next activity, which is the list activity. All right, so that is what we're going to be doing next.